Marcus loved his family, especially his two great-granddaughters. They'd sit on his lap as he'd read to them, adding just the right voice inflections that made the stories come alive. They loved those moments. But Marcus didn't know how much longer they would last. His prostate cancer had moved into his bones. It brought pain and fatigue, and the side effects of the chemotherapy made his whole body ache.
I want to live my life closer to thee.
But it was the thought of not being with his great-granddaughters that brought a bigger ache to his heart. He dreaded their goodbyes. Each could be their last. Pain is real. Unpleasant physical sensory experiences come from a variety of conditions, from illness or disease, as prostate cancer did with Marcus. Pain can also come from the effects of medical treatments, from physical therapy or surgery or chemotherapy. As Marcus endured all the pain and discomfort of his physical condition, he wrestled with the emotional pain of what it would mean to be without the companionship of those little ones in his life. Along with painful physical experiences, we also encounter pain of heart and mind, emotional and social, psychological and spiritual pain. To our remarkable brains, pain is pain is pain. In some special ways, it doesn't matter to the brain if the pain is caused by physiological experience or grieving heart. Pain of heart and mind must also be endured. St. Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians 12 that he was tormented by pain. We don't know whether it was a physical ailment like the lingering effects of his beatings, or of an illness like malaria or epilepsy. We don't know if it was the emotional torment of his memory of all those he had arrested before he was turned to Christ. Nonetheless, in his endurance of this pain, Paul sought God's deliverance, but it did not come. How could Paul endure any longer? Because he had this great promise of Christ. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. God's message to all his beloved children as we endure pain in this life is that his grace, his everlasting, never-failing love is enough for us. It is adequate to our situation to know that the Almighty God loves us in Jesus Christ. And in enduring our pain, as weak and overwhelmed as we may be, in great physical discomfort or an overwhelming sorrow, the power of the cross is made perfect. Our weakness shows it's not about us and how tough we are. It's all about our loving Father. His power and his presence enable us to endure. Oh, pain is real. Physical pain, pain of heart and mind. The grace and love of God is greater, though, my friend. Endure steadfastly in him. Pray with me. Lord God, my pain is so real and can be so disabling. Fill my heart and mind with your grace and love, O Lord. Give me the endurance of hope and faith in Jesus I need. In his name, amen.
Thanks for joining us. If you're seeking services for symptoms of mental illness, please talk to your primary doctor or a health professional. Don't have one? Consider one of the resources listed here to find help. And God's peace to you.